Hi, this is Ian from Blog in a Box. First of all, congratulations for taking the action to get yourself online, whether that be for blogging, setting up a family website, or even if it's just to give your business a much needed online presence in this day and age. During the video tutorials on this page, you're going to quickly learn the basic skills required to set up a website from scratch in no more than 20 minutes. And honestly, this stuff is very, very easy once you know how to do it. However, our first obstacle is overcoming some of the jargon, so you'll be able to easily understand the concept of running a website. So let's first of all use an analogy of a traditional shop. And let's say, for argument's sake, it's a fashion shop that sells dresses. Okay, so the first thing you need when you move into a traditional shop is the address. And this might be number 5 Oxford Street. The next thing you need is the building itself, where the shop is going to be. And in this case, it's made out of concrete and glass and a nice little canopy over the window. Next thing you need are the fixtures and fittings, and this is to make the shop look attractive to potential customers. And finally, or at least at a high level, you need stock, so i.e. the dresses that you will sell. Well, let's now look at the bits of the puzzle that we need to put together in order to make our website. So as before, the first thing we need is the address, and in techie language this is also called your domain name. And usually the domain name starts with www, which means that it's an address that exists on the World Wide Web. The next thing we need is our building, and in techie language this is also called our hosting platform, or just hosting for short. The hosting platform is basically a big computer that sits somewhere in the world. The actual location is not important, but this is where your virtual shop will run from. Now the next thing we need, if you remember our analogy, is the fixtures and fittings. And at Blog in a Box we use an industry standard application that represents our fixtures and fittings, and that's what we call WorPress. Now WorPress is actually a lot more than just basic fixture and fittings. It's also our shop window and our operations department all rolled into one, and much more actually, but we'll get into that in a later tutorial. And then last but not least, we need our stock. So that's things for people to see, things for people to buy, etc. And again, in techie speak, we call this our content. And content in this context is simply text, images, videos, electronic documents and other files. Now, images, videos, files, etc. can also be known as media, but don't get confused. Media is just a type of content. So let's look at one more set of examples just to cement this. So the address, our address is our domain name. So in this example you can see Amazon.com is a domain name, which is also the website address. Hosting equals our building, so this is just a set of big computers, also known as servers, that sit somewhere in the world and run our website. Then we've got our fixtures and fittings, which is an application called WorPress, which we'll be getting into a lot more detail on in the next few tutorials. And then finally, we need our content, also known as our dresses or our stock. And in this screenshot, you can see examples of video, images, and also text. So now we've hopefully put all that into context. Our next step is to go and register our domain, which is the next topic in our tutorial.